People pay a lot of money for what I'm going to share with you in this video. Now, aside from the mindset stuff, there are some techie things that I'm going to discuss in this 5 days of grace webinar coming up in 6 days. And it's all going to help you succeed in the fourth industrial revolution, which is now underway. Now, the difference between the mindset stuff and the techie stuff is I can't do the mindset stuff for you. The hilarious part about this is that with all these AI things going on over the past 16 months, everybody can do the techie stuff, or so they would have you believe. But can they really? Well, you can if you understand a few key concepts. If you're talking about software development, you'll most likely have a little laptop. So let me just, I love this little whiteboard. Okay, if you're talking about software development, everyone's going to probably start with first they'll have probably a laptop, right? And then out there in cyberspace, there's all these there's all these repositories. I'm gonna repository. Okay, there's a whole bunch of them, and these repositories they contain code that people have worked, programmers all over the world have worked on. Most of it's free. They call it open source. And you can move that code that's in these repositories and you can move it to your laptop and you can work on it. And then you can take that software that you've modified and move it up to another repository that you own. Okay, because these are owned, all these repositories are owned by somebody, right? And then you can then move that from your repository to the internet. Okay, so this is just a really simple explanation of how this goes. Now, over the last 15 months or so, with all this AI stuff, it's amazing. So you have AI stuff, AI tools that will actually create stuff for you. It'll create your content, as you know, right? It'll create your images. It'll even write code, okay? So you use these AI tools to modify the software that you've pulled out of these repositories to create something that's going to be useful for you and your business. Okay, so I found a chunk of software that is amazing, and it has about 80% of the things most businesses would need, most people would need to take their product or service and market it online. Okay, it's got an authentication system because people need to be able to log into your website. Okay, it has, I made a little list here. It's got a landing page, okay, because people need to come to a landing page and see what your product or service is. You can have product pages. You can have Stripe integration. Now, Stripe is a way that you collect money from your customers when they want to pay. So it's had Stripe integration. You have a contact management feature. Okay, so you can keep track of your contacts. Like when people come to these landing pages, well, you can build a funnel. Okay, and the funnel is going to be, if somebody comes to a landing page and it sees there, it talks about whatever your product or service is, and then they want to click on it, they add their email or whatever they do, that's called a funnel. So as these people go through the funnel, they'll end up in your contact management system, so you can follow up with them. There's also project management features, project management, and what else? And also you can have sub accounts. Okay, so you can actually take this software that I found in this repository, okay, right on my laptop. Okay, and it works as like that you could think of it as like a mold or a form that we can use to build just about any business out. So I'm going to talk about more about this stuff on the 5 Days of Grace webinar that's coming up on April 29th. So what does any of this have to do with your mindset from yesterday? Remember, I had a little circle that says, here's your mind. And then you have your conscious and your subconscious mind, right? But what we're trying to do is we're trying to develop an idea that you're going to have in your conscious mind. And the idea has to do with how will you succeed and thrive in the fourth industrial revolution, which is now underway, by the way. So we want to help you develop an idea And then we're going to help you get emotionally attached to that idea. Ta-da! That's why we have the little heart, right? We get emotionally attached. And then we're going to take that and we're going to create your software solution so that you can monetize that idea and succeed in the fourth industrial revolution. Because if you haven't noticed, okay, these large corporations, they went bye-bye. Okay, now it's all on us. So we become the corporations. We become little, I call it the age of the solopreneur. So these AI tools are really cool because the ratio is about 8-to-1. In other words, you can get 8 hours worth of work in 1 hour, okay, using these AI tools. And it's just, you just have to be able to ask the right questions. So the technical people that know which questions to ask to make all this stuff happen, they need to be available to do that. Okay, but there needs to be more of us. There needs to be much, much more of us that know how to ask the questions to make this stuff work. So as I get older and I can't do as much work as I'd like to do, I can't spend as many hours, or maybe I don't want to spend as many hours. It doesn't take away from the idea that we really need people to learn these skills if we're going to succeed as a nation and as a world into this fourth industrial revolution. So come to this webinar and learn a little bit about this stuff. It's where I'm going to help you take your project and make it happen. All righty, it's going to be amazing. It is amazing, actually. So anyway, there'll be more about that on the webinar, and I'll see you then.